Hey, what's up, guys? E-Rob, Eric Robinson here, one half of the dynamic Eric Squared Circle duo, and I'm joined by my esteemed co-host, Eric Ozio. What's up, buddy?
Huh, pretty good now. Esteemed. We're the esteemed
You welcome.
Erics. Oh, just call me esteemed.
I think that we're pretty awesome.
Well, don't let's not get a huge ego. Another E. Just throwing that out there.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard not to. It's been a great week for our YouTube channel, man. I mean, when the girlfriend's away, 140 views. Thank you so much to everybody that has taken the time to watch that. That was true
Ooh,
labor of love, and
one
I had an
voting.
absolute blast
That's
doing
like
that,
around my
man.
bowling score. That's like the last highest bowling score I had. I love it.
Love it.
It's not bad, right? 140 is not too bad. I'll take it.
Depends on who you're bowling with.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. So it's
Anyway,
been
man.
a crazy, crazy week in the wrestling community of industry that it is.
And
How do you
how?
want to start this off? This coming of
Um.
Eric Squared Circle show back to you all here as a some podcast format.
Oof. Well, I feel like we have to let's just steer into the skid here. Raw Underground, dude. I went from like
Raw Fight Club.
ready to throw. You're not supposed to talk about it. I went from getting ready to throw my remote at my TV to this is good. Like in the course of 3 hours, man. I mean, I think that everything that they've done to set this up has been nothing short of incredible. Like concept, yes, hokey. Is it Brawl for All? Yes. There's a little bit more of the work element to it, but let's call a spade a spade. It's Brawl for All again. But it feels a little bit more like Def Jam Vendetta for PS3. Just saying.
That was a fun time. I did
Right?
enjoy that game when I was 13, 14 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of
Good
hard not
time.
to.
That was a good excuse to just beat down on your brothers without actually beating down on them. Pretty satisfying.
I mean,
Well, I
well,
have a
I
little.
actually did it.
Well,
We
I
didn't
mean, I
care,
did. I did as well, but
right? It's.
it's sometimes better to beat down on their spirits, crush their souls in some Def Jam 3, do some crazy moves like they don't even know what's going on.
Nah. Anyway, yeah, Raw Underground kicked off with basically the only names that I recognized were Ivar and Dolph Ziggler. Had a few talents from NXT, and then obviously the Hurt Business comes in and decides that, hey, we're going to go ahead and take this over. And that was a nice little wrinkle, too, and that was kind of what sold me on this could be a pretty cool concept. MVP is one of those guys that, and I kind of went through this in my quick hits video that's also up on YouTube now. Having that player coach role and being able to work so closely with guys like Lashley and Shelton Benjamin is going to do them a world of good. Lashley had his best run in Impact when he was managed by MVP, and that led him to a couple of world title runs. I don't see how this could be any different, especially if they take something like Raw Underground and basically turn it into, Bobby's, basically his training gym with punching bags to just go take out people for shits and gigs in this no rules environment. You can play that up for big matches, and who knows, this could be something that if done right draws the attention of Brock Lesnar. Brock has done everything that there is in WWE, but now this is something fresh, it's something new, and if this is something that Bobby dominates, why wouldn't you want to book something like this underground fight between Brock and Bobby, especially when they're going to do that worked element anyway? This could be something that is phenomenal, excuse me, on yeah. It's okay, it's the internet,
He
it's
gets
fine.
heated. He gets heated.
I
They
do.
can slip out
I
sometimes.
I
But we
apologize.
got that bleeped out. We'll be all right.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, but I think that this is something that could easily draw Brock's attention again if you book it properly, because you not only have the big match potential in Brock and Bobby still, but think of the war of words between MVP and Paul Heyman in a sport like this. A lot to love about it. What do you think?
I mean, I didn't. I mean, it was very interesting. The surrounding, you know, allure, what they had going around it, the dancing ladies and the ringless ring. So it's a lot more edgy. There's no control there, and I feel like this might be a setup for their ability to build these factions that they want to get to a model that they had in the Attitude Era, where there's all these excellent faction groups, these tag team setups. And again, I feel like there's a direct correlation to what tag team division we're seeing on Wednesday nights in both NXT and AEW in the Wednesday Night Wars now.
Yeah.
Bringing up these factions on Raw and SmackDown to build on this, like, we're assuming this is going to take a 45-minute slot of the show every single night if it's not broken up or in one single segment.
See, that's the thing. I mean, I think that with something like Raw Underground, I mean, yeah, you could easily do let's just give them, 15, 20 minutes, do one segment that's theirs and move on. However, I really like the presentation of last night where you got a couple of fights and they just happen very, very quickly. In a way, it works as nice filler. When you don't necessarily want to show a match or a vignette or something like that. And this could be a really awesome way to reduce the number of rematches that we tend to see on Monday Night Raw. I mean, we had they went back to Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins again a couple of weeks ago, and they just finished at WrestleMania. They, thought that Randy Orton versus Big Show was this huge main event that was going to pop a number, and all it did was make me pop right out of my seat and change the channel. And there's so many ways that they can make this work. They just need to get out of their own way and not like Bruce, seriously, do not screw this up. Like, you've got the entire internet buzzing on this. Just please.
Anyway, so yes, again, going since that this could be a battleground foundation to them building up these factions, especially with the Hurt Business. Bobby Lashley led Hurt Business with MVP as well. So it's just that's what they're trying to get to, and match these Wednesday Night Wars ratings. But however, the Wednesday Night War ratings are starting to get more to where they were prior to the pandemic. Raw did see over 1.5 million viewers this past Monday night, the most that they've seen of 2020, I'm guessing. Brought Shane McMahon back to open up this underground amidst a bunch of other crazy storylines that are going on right now. One we can speak on just real quickly. What's going on? Montez Ford being poisoned, collapsing in the middle of the ring during a tag team match. A lot of people are speculating. Obviously, it could be easily kayfabe. What are they doing here? What's going on?
So here's the thing. I think that everybody knows that Angel Garza, Andrade, and Zelina were behind that. As hokey as this story is, do I think that it's kind of a jump the shark moment when it comes to this particular rivalry? Absolutely. But I will say I think that this is a nice way to reintroduce Bianca Belair, because now she's got an axe to grind, and it's very clear that she can come for Zelina, excuse me. And this could be this is one match we don't see on Monday Night Raw. And I think that at this point in time right now, if they're really open to new ideas, they need to kind of think about, hey, we've never done this before. We've never done, A versus B. Let's give that a shot and see what happens. As hokey as this, storyline is, and kind of, how it just kind of came out of nowhere is what it is. But it's really not about how you start, it's how you finish. So this could still, we have no doubts that this is going to be a great match at SummerSlam for the tag team titles. That's a given. I mean, Dawkins and Ford are really at the top of their game right now, and they have earned every single opportunity that they've gotten in WWE so far. Sky's the limit with them. Andrade and Garza, it seemed like there was a lot of a start-stop, between them as soon as Zelina announced this new alliance. But they seem to, they seem to click well. We can put aside that every once in a while they bicker about, who Zelina likes more and which one is mommy's favorite or whatever. But, overall, this gives everybody something to do and adds a little bit of drama, even if it is a little soapy.
Absolutely. I think that, we'll see how it goes. Intertwines, goes down the grapevine. Go through the rest of the Raw programming last night. We may have heard somewhat of a fire promo from Mr. Drew McIntyre.
It was absolutely fire. It wasn't sort of fire. It was fire. It was all the fires.
Oh, it was all the fires.
Oh.
And I'm quoting here from CBS, McIntyre thanked Orton. He was very received, and Orton warned him, but only to RKO him at the end of the show. McIntyre did not appreciate it. Did not. I can't do a good Scottish psychopath. It's very, it's good. It's good builder, good juju, solid, story building to their match.
The tagline to the match sucks, but I'm very excited for the main event. Absolutely.
Sucked. Yeah. It was okay. Good. It was good. It was all right. We had a special guest appearance on Raw last night. The two-time Hall of Famer Ric Flair confronted Kevin Owens. Told him he was becoming too much of a guidance counselor lately. What do you think of that? Is that going anywhere? What's going on over there?
I'm not going to read into it, quite frankly. I know that, there was that segment, and I didn't realize that Flair was even out there with Randy during that promo with McIntyre until about halfway through when they finally just kind of did a wide pan of the top of the set. Why is WWE risking Ric Flair like this during Little Miss Rona? There's no point. Like it's
discouraging.
The thing about Randy Orton is he's the legend killing legend. He doesn't need Flair's advice and counsel anymore. Like at this point he's nearly 20 years into his run and doing some of the best work of his career. Literally Flair is out there for decoration and hoping that it pops a number just because he's there. Is at least, kind of how I see it. But I don't necessarily think that, I don't see how he comes into play here. It's basically, you want to mentor me, you want to tutor me. It's basically you see Arn and Tully over in AEW doing that, and you're like, ooh, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, it's you don't really see the payoff. I don't see it either, especially with everything going on. Rick has already proven that he's had some issues in the last few years.
He almost didn't kick out that last time.
So, Nia Jax receives a suspension
from a guy that doesn't have the authority to do it.
She calls Buck a runt, and she said she was doing the job of taking him out. But I don't really see it either. She will not be suspended. She's
been suspended.
She'll just be outside the actual arenas of where they're filming, and then wait for Buck to come out and just attack him again. I would say.
I don't understand the point of this, and I'm actually a little disappointed that this is where this story has gone, because I was so excited for Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and I thought, okay, we're gonna get a legit match here, and then we kind of see the blow up there where it ends in a no contest, and it's cool, okay, maybe we'll get this at SummerSlam, maybe this is a pre-show, maybe this is something they will build around kind of that week before or week night after, just to kind of draw a rating from it, but it devolved into Nia Jax, beating the hell out of a producer that nobody knew his name until last week. And now he's got the power to suspend her indefinitely. You had Stephanie McMahon via Skype 2 weeks ago. How hard was that to do again? Shane McMahon was right in the back. Anybody else could have come out here, but I guess that would have taken away from Raw Underground. So,
True story.
A rich kid bought an underground fight club.
Yes.
Is basically what this is.
Yes. And that's Shane McMahon. Rich kid. Yeah.
What do you guys think of Raw Underground? Let us know in the comments.
Lots of comments on bad, good, or ugly Raw Underground.
Here's the real question. How long do you think Raw Underground lasts?
At least through when AEW has All Out. The end of August,
potentially
early September.
Weeks. Okay, 3 or 4 weeks. That's about what I give it. Because and the thing is, it's a valid question to wonder how long it's going to last. However, we have seen WWE over the years, if there's something they think just doesn't work, they're just not going to do it anymore. So I can't say that I blame them for trying this again. However, we just got Brawl for All Dark Side of the Ring like this season. So you guys could have at least waited until some of the irony went away. Like there's an entire documentary filled with wrestlers about why this went wrong. Like not even just the injuries, but the fact that it didn't end the way that they wanted to. Bart Gunn gets punished for going out there and doing his job here. So maybe that's why they're kind of taking some of that shoot aspect out of it. But I don't know. We'll see. But I think that, 3 to 4 weeks is
and again, it stinks.
Yes.
As they mentioned on Wrestle Talk, as I watched yesterday or early this morning, it just seems like it's the ratings. This clearly was a ratings grab, and all the things around it.
Though. It worked.
I'm not saying it didn't work.
This was their best show since June.
So that's potentially have to be every single week if they want to like stay relevant. Over 1.5 million viewers throughout a program.
So here's a pretty sobering reality. So last week's third hour of Raw was beat by both hours of Dynamite on Wednesday. Like just let that sink in. Like that was their lowest hour ever for Raw, and then they got trounced by AEW and their full show. Like that's got to say something.
I think it does. E. You're listening to the Eric Square Circle show. Or watching us, listening, whatever you want.
Yeah, you can do both these days. But thanks so much. Remember to like and subscribe. Yeah. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can find us on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And make sure to turn on those notifications so you can keep up with all the quick hits. We got some new comedy out here. And this is
continue to get more content out there.
Yeah, content is king these days.
Oh, sorry, I just got the yawns. I did legs today, buddy. You'd be proud. Well, you'd have been proud of me.
Did 12-ounce curls.
Both arms or just the right?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Don't really care. It's just being polite.
Anywho, AEW kicked off the Deadly Draw tournament this week. 16-woman tournament set to culminate in the crowning of the inaugural AEW Tag Team Champions. Night one was pretty solid here. I mean, it's a little unfortunate that it's going to be a YouTube exclusive, but I think that last reporting, about 27,000 people, myself included, watched the live stream, and that's better than Dark averages generally. So that gives us some hope, especially because the viewership numbers this year are going to play a big part in whether this comes back next year and whether it gets a spot on television. So that is really, really that's really good to see that people are tuning in and wanting to check this out. Dude, I'm thoroughly entertained with this. I like the fact that there is no, you don't get to control your partners. So you're going to get all these different pairings. You're going to see a lot of different styles match up here. And this is a real way for AEW to build some depth in that women's division. I mean, they are just being outpaced by WWE. WWE just doesn't know what to do with the talent that they have. Here, AEW has talent. It's just a depth problem. So I think that, incorporating this tag team tournament and building women's tag team titles is going to give them something else to do rather than focus on Rio and the women's world championship there. So we'll see. We saw the Nightmare Sisters advance. The odd couple of Brandy and Allie continuing to impress. Not really sure kind of how this came about, but it got my attention, kept my attention too. So what do you think?
I really thought it was great. I mean, they are popping off, like, want to have a solid tag team division. You want a solid women's division. That's, I feel like, the AEW's weakest point right now, and Chris Jericho said it best. They are elite, and I want to see these ladies. God, what's that face? I don't like it.
What?
Now you're gonna have to cut stuff.
What?
You have to cut stuff again. I don't like you.
What did I do? I'm just listening.
You did. You were doing you.
I did. So I.
You distracted me with your face.
How did I
just? You made a face. Don't make faces.
Go.
Made me. Okay.
Whatever. Go.
Chris Jericho is right. They blew it out of the water. It was an excellent tag teams matches to see these two teams advance. I'm excited to see how it goes forward. Hopefully we get over 50,000 viewers. I'm going to be one of them. coming up here. I think
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
are they doing it through the whole week?
Yeah,
Right.
so it's once a week, next few weeks. We don't necessarily know like when this is going to end, but if I
Oh,
had to
once a
guess
week.
it,
Oh,
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah,
Okay.
Mondays 7 o'clock on YouTube. At this point, if I had to guess, it's this is probably something that'll culminate at All Out September 5th. Um, we'll see, but I'm definitely optimistic. It's nice that they're adding women's tag team championships, especially because they seem to value tag team wrestling more so than WWE.
That's something that, again, the women's division, I feel like in AEW is unfortunately right now one of their weakest points. So that's definitely something they need to focus on. Strengthen the show overall,
For
like the
sure.
whole roster overall. Overall. Ugh. Ugh. Can't speak. I can't speak. But excellent. I mean, I can't wait for the continuing rivalry of this potential. Again, speaking on AEW, these dual rivalries for one championship. You got, Moxley seemingly going against three separate people for one title. He's facing Darby Allin here tomorrow night for the AEW championship. We'll face Brian Cage again at some point.
It's okay.
Or we're going to see
Literally none of that
MJ,
matters, okay? Because
MJF
so that has been confirmed. MJF will be taking on Jon Moxley at All Out for the AEW World Championship.
assuming Darby Allin doesn't beat him tomorrow night, I'm assuming. Well, which we all don't think Darby Allin will beat him, unfortunately.
He's not winning that match.
No, I like Darby, but there's no.
I love Darby.
I'm not gonna. I hope it's a good match. He's gonna DDT the hell out of him though at the end though. It's gonna be
He's gonna spike him. Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep the skateboard out of it, Mr. Allen. You don't want to get hit with that thing. It'll hurt.
Well, I mean, he had that thumbtack covered one last week. That was pretty badass.
Yeah. That's a new take. I missed that was I love the Young Bucks tack boot. The tack board is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's man, and it's crazy to think about like a dream matchup just because we're talking Darby Allin and Mick Foley. That'd be like Mick Foley in his prime and Darby Allin in his prime. That's a hell of a match right there.
Mm-hmm. True story. Well, Mr. Eric, what we talk on the state of we spoke on Raw. We can speak kind of like the overall feeling of the program. We've been hearing various rumors from different sources, Wrestle Talk, Raw Culture, the Observer, Cage Side Seats, that's just saying that there is a lot of volatility in Vince McMahon just from everything going on the outside and the criticism going on from multiple different entities towards the WWE regarding the pandemic handling and their handling of the roster and their employees themselves. Seeing a Raw that is able to gross over 1.5 million viewers for the first time for a while, is this a turn of the good events? Are they going to start hopefully focusing more on the creative side of it, maybe creating a more environmentally friendly workspace for everyone, physically and emotionally? I know I loaded it up for you there, buddy. Hit me hard.
Vince McMahon is running out of excuses at this point. We have seen for the last three times that we're nearing the release of earnings reports and nearing shareholder calls, Vince has taken severely drastic action because he knows that he is preemptively taking action in case the numbers are not what they should be. Eric Bischoff, George Barrios, and Michelle Wilson, and they're still untangling that cluster. Paul Heyman this time. This is like the buck starts and stops with Vince. Always has, and it will until he dies in Gorilla. Like that, it is what it is. So something clearly needs to change in how ideas get filtered up to the old man, because it seems like for every story of I wanted to pull my fucking hair out because I can never get anybody to listen to my ideas. I mean, did you hear about the last meeting between FTR and Vince that last day?
Yeah.
No idea that they were pitching ideas. He had no idea.
Apparently, just no one would. He claims he has no idea. He probably just chose not to listen.
And there's probably some truth to that claiming too as well. It's Vince McMahon. He's not a perfect person. Let's not beat around the bush here.
None of us are.
But the problem that I have now is you're this guy that says he can build stars and wants to give people opportunities. You don't need Hollywood writers to come up with pro wrestling. Like, I understand that you want to make it an entertainment-oriented product, and I could understand the appeal of having maybe like a handful of people on staff there. But the proof is in the pudding. When you give wrestlers more creativity and include them in their promos and give them time to shine, give them time being the important word to shine, more often than not, they will deliver. SmackDown has been so good the last few weeks, and seeing the likes of Grand Metalik get pushed into an Intercontinental title match with AJ Styles, Drew Gulak, Matt Riddle. Daniel Bryan is a writer for SmackDown now. Like that, like he has more power backstage because he said, give me the opportunity to work with Gulak. Give me a chance to get him over. If it doesn't work, you don't have to do it again. But it worked, and it got him over, and he earned more power that way. There are more than a few wrestlers that are kind of on their way out, or at least wanting to hang up the boots when it comes to an in-ring career. Bring more wrestlers in as far as the writing team goes, because you're going to have people feel some type of way when there's a writer that's planning an angle and they've never even so much as watched a wrestling match or stepped foot in a ring, or maybe didn't even enjoy the product as a kid but needed a fucking job. So the networks are impatient. Shareholders are at least happy for now because they did record revenue, mostly because they cut down on the production cost by taping at the Performance Center. And the numbers show that Black Wednesday didn't need to happen at all either, but that's another conversation for another time. I mean, bottom line, this method of watching wrestling is not going to be sustainable because, quite frankly, at this point, we don't know when WWE is going to get to tour live audiences again. We just don't know when that's going to happen. So at least, if we're all going to be stuck at home to watch wrestling and can't go to enjoy the shows, at least know that when you are putting something out, at least try to build it so that way we can't wait to come back when we're allowed to. Like, make me want to go check out it. Well, I mean, it's me, so it's not going to be hard to convince me to go to a show. But, there are people that WWE is going to have to convince. Like, they haven't done a great job. And I think that Fox and USA are both starting to have a little bit of buyer's remorse. Yeah, so we'll see. I hope that this is I hope this is a true wake-up call. Raw Underground, I mean, this particular booking decision is one that's going to follow them for the rest of the year. So if this is something they believe can work, yeah, they got to be all in, pun intended.
Or they'll be all out of time. Ha ha! Is all out's coming up. Never mind. God. Never mind. So this is, again, you've been listening and watching the Eric Squared Circle show. We want to finish. I know that my esteemed colleague here got a little heated because I know how he feels about, things and how they're going, how they're being handled creatively for the WWE. But let's end the show on a happy note. The Bella twins had their Bella babies within hours of birthing their Bella babies. How many hours exactly? Do we know? A Bella baby bonanza going on.
Don't know the exact number. I just know that Nikki gave birth on Friday and Brie was Saturday. So everybody's happy and healthy. Congratulations to Nikki, Brie, Daniel Bryan, Artem, and however you say his name on Dancing with the Stars, a show that I watched exactly once.
Very nice. Little babies. They got babies coming.
No.
Little Bella baby wrestling baby.
The Bella Bros, man.
Bella Bros.
Come on, it works.
They're both boys.
Yeah, they're both boys.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for listening and watching. For Eric Ozio, I'm Eric Robinson. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification button. And if you want to listen to the full show, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We'll talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to like, share, and subscribe. And while you're at it, make sure to turn on those notifications so you guys can be the first to check out our brand new content. It's going to be a leg-slapping good time. Oh.